welcome to Papa Bear's Peppers, and today we're going to do a full-on overwinter plant here. Now this one happens to be my Red Reaper X, and I want to save it because I'm not getting any seeds. And if you watched one of my videos here recently, you'll see that this was producing some really hot pods. However, there was no seeds, so I want to keep it going until next year because it was just a great heat, a good pepper, so I'm going to keep that going. So stay with me, and I'm going to show you how to take this into an overwinter mode. So here we go. The first thing we need to do is we need to clear the roots. Now this is in good shape and we're starting to get cold temps, so I'm going to clear the roots. I'm going to clear all of the soil that's in there. Best way to do that is I'm going to get another container that I can transfer this soil into there. It's still a good outside soil. So give me a minute, I'll be right back. Now this is a container I'm going to put it in. This is a brand new container. It's never been used for anything. So I know it's going to be clean going into the tent. Now here's the other one. This is an older container, and this is where I'm going to pull the soil out of there and save. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and get that plant out of the pot. Now this is going to look drastic, trust me, I know it is, but this is what you have to do to get these, in my opinion, into overwinter. Now there are folks that'll take them in just like this. I just don't prefer to take them inside without changing the soil. So let's go ahead and get started on this. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to loosen up this root ball, and I'm going to literally turn it upside down just like this. And I'm holding on to the root ball right now, right at the stem, so you got to be kind of careful. Not really super, but you can see here where the roots are going to be. Here I am, I'm going to be down here, and I'm going to break up this root ball. Now you've seen me do this on one previously that we went ahead, grab it right by the stem, and start manipulating it to get these roots loose. I want to get as much as I can. There's a worm in there even. That shows you I use a lot of worm castings in my soil too. And I'm really going to manipulate this and break it up. I want to get all of the soil out this time, folks. You see me do it last time. I had even some issues with the plants I took inside because I didn't get all of the soil out. And this is going to look extremely drastic. I'm going to be really working on this hard. But we'll get it under lights. I'm going to go ahead and just keep working it until I get close. Once I get close, I'm going to switch over to the hose and I'm going to blast the root ball. Now I could use my spade shovel, you know, my small planting shovel, but I'm just going to go ahead and keep working it. Get this root ball, all the soil out of it. Sometimes you got to dig your fingers in there a little bit, and that's what I'm doing here. I want to get that root ball completely loose. This is to help assure that I'm not going to have any bugs in it, and also give it some nice new nectar soil to work with. I'm going to be using the nectar new soil to plant this in so that it has really good soil, already clean, and it already has the base nutrients in it that it needs to thrive. So you see I've got quite a bit out of there. Now I'm going to tell you right now that this plant will go into shock as much as I'm going to do to it. However, we'll feed it and we'll keep it going and it'll be fine. So I've got quite a bit out of there. And I think now I'm going to go ahead and really hit it with the hose. And I'll come back here in a second and you'll see what I've got. We're going to really blast it now, folks. I mean, I'm going to blast and I'm going to get every bit of soil that I can out of it. I want to just pure root. I am going to literally take this down in just a root ball. Get that grass out of there. I was growing in it. Now the weather's starting to get cool here, so if there's any plants that I want to save, I've got to do it now. So I'm literally taking this down to the bare roots. I want to give it a nice clean bed to go into. Like I said, not everybody will do this, but I prefer to do this when I'm going to put it inside and put it in fresh soil. It's going to have nice, clean soil to work with. I'm really digging in there and I'm going to get all the soil out that I can find, as much as I possibly can. Helps some to get the bugs out of it. Alright. Really, like I said, I'm really going after it, folks. Really getting in there good. Now I know this seems like it's very extreme, but it's a great way to make sure your plant's completely clean. Alright, looks pretty good, folks. Now we're not done doing what we're going to do here. Now I got my nice clean bucket here. Now I'm going to do a few things here that, alright, as you can see, that is down to almost absolutely nothing in there. Just a bare root ball. Yes, folks, I know it looks really drastic. So what I'm going to do, I want to lay this down right here. Now we're going to bring in some of the nectar number 4 soil. I'm going to just lay my plant right over here so it's out of the way. Actually still got some pods on it. Might even be able to get those finished off. But this is a full-on winter. It's going to be pretty drastic, folks. Let me show you something else I'm bringing into this. Just to show you, this is my nectar number 4 soil. Okay, and this is really a great soil. It's a great mix. Get this through Nectar for the Gods. If you can't find it at your local grow store, you can order Oregon's Nectar for the Gods, the Titan site. And I'll put a link down there in the description so you know where to order that from. Now this is called CALPRIL. Now what I'm going to be, CALPRIL, CALPRIL. What this helps to do, something that we've been discovering, is this going to help with the biocarbonates that are in my soil. What does that mean? That's going to help stabilize my pH. It's going to help with the nutrients and how the plant uptakes those nutrients. So we're going to go ahead, I'm going to mix some of that in, just a couple handfuls. Basically what it is a lime, but that's going to help with releasing the biocarbonates that are in the soil. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and put some more soil in, and we're going to, well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to wet this down real quick in the soil. That way we make sure that those roots are going to make moisture contact. I'm going to go ahead, stir this in. It's pretty damp, so now I'm going to go ahead, come in with some more soil. Just like so. I pretty much got all the soil I'm going to need. Now this is a nice, fluffy, airy soil. I tell you, it's a great soil, folks. You want to really treat your plants good, get a hold of some of this Nectar for the Gods soil. I'm telling you, an amazing soil. So I'm going to open up my hole now so I can get that root ball in there. All right, I got to make room for this root ball, so I'm going to now start spreading this out. Get it down there nice and good. It's a deep hole. I'm going to get a little bit of moisture in here. Like so. Now I'm going to go ahead, come in here. Now this one will really shock you a little bit. I'm going to trim this root ball back a little bit right here at the bottom. And I know, folks, that looks drastic to do, but those roots are going to take off and they're going to reach. Oh, we got that cut back. I'm going to go ahead and drop that into there. Just like that, folks. I'm going to go ahead and compact this around it. I'm going to bring in some more soil. I might moisten it in here first. That'll help set these roots a little bit. Go ahead, do that right there, and just to wet it down really good, because I'm setting the roots into the soil. And I'm holding it and I'm compressing, and that's going to give me some compaction around that root ball, just like that. Now I'm just going to hand feed, and I'm going to actually, what I'm going to do is bring in some more of the CALPRIL, just a little bit right in here. And this is a very light dose. And remember, my Nectar for the Gods already has nutrients in it, so the plant's not going to be going without. I'm going to compact it around. Give it a nice base. Really got the roots down in there, so they're completely covered up. And it's got all brand new soil, folks. Okay. We got her pretty good there. Now, give it one more light watering just to get that top water in there. Just like so. All right, now we're going to get into the trimming of the plant. I'm going to trim this down, but I've got some pods that I want to let those finish. Beautiful pod right up here in the front. And I know that takes energy. However, I'm going to start cutting this back now quite drastically. Get it back. Now, some folks will cut these down to really right down here near next to nothing. I've just, in my experience, it hasn't worked out for me to do that. So I like to leave some leaves on there. For me, it just assures that there's something for the photosynthesis to happen and to continue to grow. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to continue cutting down. Now I'm going to cut these down. There's nodes on here, folks, and basically what that is I'm going to zoom in here for you. Hopefully you can see what I'm about to do here. So when you come in here, and I'm going to look, there's a branch, there's a node right there where I cut. See where the branch off is? That's what I'm trying to achieve so that I can continue the growth of this plant. So by doing that, it's going to allow it to continue to grow. Now, this is what I call a full-on winter, but it's still going to be growing, folks. I'm going to take it in. It's going to be under the lights, but I'm taking it way, way down. Got another pepper in there hiding on me. It's got a nice little tail on it, so I'm going to cut it down. I'm going to cut these tops off. Really get them cut down. I'm going to continue to cut this thing down to when I get where I want it to be. And I'm going to cut a lot of branches off. So the energy is going to go to finishing what I have in here. Now see this pepper here, just not that big, so I'm not going to worry about losing it. But there's some big ones in here that I don't want to lose. So I'm really going to cut down hard on this thing. Keep cutting back wherever I can see the openings to do so. Got a dead branch here. I'm going to cut it back. And you can see that pepper is neat, but it's not going to produce. So I'm going to take this down, and I cut out a big one, which I didn't want to do that, but I did it. Now, another tip you can do is something like this. Hang this upside down, just like this, and that pepper will finish. And in fact, I'm going to do it with that one, and I'm going to let what's still there in the growth, I'm going to let it finish that pepper off. There's some good ones in here. I'm going to continue cutting it down. Like I said, I know it looks drastic and everything, but you know, it's for the greater good. I'm really trimming this down, and it'll go inside my tent and turn it. You can see I'm really cutting back a lot from what you originally seen. Now, is this as drastic as it could be? No, it's not. But it's quite a lot. And when it goes in, it'll have more room to produce, to start new growth and really get going on a whole new growth. And very good chance that because the cold was here, as these leaves are falling off pretty easily, that it may lose a lot of these leaves in the tent and start regrowth. If I feel like they can pull off like that, I'm doing it. All right, folks, this is about a week later after you've seen me take apart that Red Reaper X, and I pretty much took it down. Now look at, I want to show you this. Now here's my other one I have in here. This was a chocolate bubblegum cross with a Reaper, and I left this pot on here. You can see this is why that has bubblegum in it. It's bleeding on the vein. And when that one gets ripe, it's going to be one I might have to try. Got a couple peppers on here too. I'm also letting them ripen up. They've been ripening up. I got them under my Spider Farmer SF2000 here. But look at this, all the new growth that has started already. Folks, I picked this down to nothing. Look at, there's not one old leaf on here. And look at all the new growth that's coming out since I put it in my Nectar for the Gods, Nectar number 4 soil. And it's just been thriving, you know, and I picked it down to nothing for a reason, because I want to make sure that I'm not bringing any pests or anything into here. You've seen that I washed the roots, and let's get a close-up look. Now that noise you hear in here, that's the fan over here that's blowing in here. Just a Walmart special in here going. You can see this one in here. I did the same thing. It only had these leaves here, which I'm about to be picking off, and it's already got the new growth. Look at this. You can see the new growth shoots coming out of there, and in no time this one's going to be really taking off. Now I do a lot of experimentation in here. I picked this one down. This is the yellow carbaruga that you seen me start earlier, and it's got all this new growth. I picked it clean, and I went ahead and let it start regrowing. It's even got a few little buds in there I got to pick off. And this is my little arrow garden. I play with it too because I get really good starts out of it, and then I transplant them. But I got a whole bunch of seedlings in here. I'm starting in here my seed starting mix that I make, and you can see I'm already getting shoots out of there. Gonna be a busy year. Yep. So anyway, just thought I'd show you, as drastic as it is, of what I did to those plants. Really, I picked them down to nothing, and they're already growing again. The fan off, it'll get really warm in here. I don't want that. So I've got the fan running in here to keep the temperatures regulated. And everything, as you can see, is doing really well. I'm going to finish these pods up because I want seeds. Those ones right in the middle there, that was my one cross with a Wartrix. It's my Reaper X crossed with a Warty X. That's the 3 pods you see right here. Those are those 3 plants right there. Those are crossed, and hoping to see that I get something pretty cool out of it. We'll see what happens. I have 3 plants to figure it out. The ones you see over here, those are Iowa Twisters. Yeah, them are from Rhine Pappas. So, well, hopefully I've showed you a few things here on how you can overwinter your favorite pepper plants. And as you can see inside my little grow tent, they're doing quite well. I have new foliage on the plants. Those peppers that were green before are ripening up, and I have new starts that are kicking in. And folks, I'm still growing out there. The monsters are still putting out peppers. It may be that I finally figured out how to do 365 days a year growing, because everything is just going fantastic. Well, this is Harold with Papa Bear's Peppers. I hope you have a great day. Please remember, like and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button down there. Help me grow. This is Harold with Papa Bear's Peppers. Y'all have a great day and keep growing.